I frequently get messages from people saying, I live in XYZ city, I really like the way that you train. Do you know somebody who trains with your methods in whatever city they live in? And I always have to answer no. So we decided to do something about it. We decided to put this course together to help you work with your sport trainer to develop certain skills that, even if they may not realize it at the time, will better help prepare you for a real world situation. Welcome to From Sport to Street, real world protection training for sports dogs. My name is Joel Riles, and today we're going to be talking about how to work with your sport trainer to better prepare your dog for a real world situation. Sport dog training has a lot of great foundation work. There's a lot of things about sport training that are really good. In fact, I would say I actually envy some of the things that sports trainers do because of the approaches that we take. It takes us a little longer to get there. Now, I like our fully end result a little bit better, but I am not here to smash sport training. Sport trained dogs often have really strong bites. They're willing to charge forward toward a threat. They're very obedient as a general rule. They spend a lot of time getting that obedience foundation really strong, and all of that is awesome. The problem comes in with certain techniques that are used in sports training frequently, and we're going to go over those and help you have a plan to work with your trainer so that those weaknesses don't seep their way into the situation. Sport training is a solid foundation, but it's not the finish line. Most sports were based on law enforcement training, and law enforcement dogs are primarily apprehension dogs. Now, this is great, and the sport world has a lot of great techniques for dogs whose purpose is to apprehend people. But you're not a police officer. You're a civilian, and you have a protection dog that you want to make sure will protect you no matter what. Well, we're going to help you identify the differences between dogs that are trained for apprehension and dogs that are trained for actual protection work, and put together a plan to help you get there with your dog. If these ideas resonate with you, you're not wrong for wanting more from your dog. I made this course specifically to try to work with sport trainers and not have a confrontational, adversarial, or threatening approach. That generally isn't going to work very well in the sport world. The dog sport world is a lot like any protection area, like firearms and hand-to-hand combat. Whatever technique that particular instructor is using tends to be the only technique they think works. Even though lots of techniques can work and lots of different ideas are good, and thinking outside the box can often be really useful. But we tend to get into our little boxes, our tunnel vision, so we don't want to turn your trainer off and get you kicked off the training field. We want to work with your trainer to better help prepare your dog for a real world situation. So in each of these lessons, we're going to give you non-threatening conversation starters that you can begin to have with your trainer. Remember, when you're talking with your trainer, don't bash the training that they're doing. You want to ask questions. You want to sound curious because you should genuinely be curious. I was thinking about this situation. What if I ended up here with my dog? I'm not confident that they would do what I need them to do. Could we run this type of scenario to make sure that they would be ready? That sort of thing. So each of the following lessons is going to have a scenario. It's going to have a flaw or weakness in the sport world methodology when compared to using the dogs in the real world. And then we're going to have a few recommendations and ways that you can talk to your sport trainer to help get them to move you in that direction. The goal is to help you train smarter, safer, and more realistic with the prompts in this course.